Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. I keep seeing more and more of you every single day. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who leaves a like, who has subscribed, who has written a comment, who tells me what they're having for breakfast, because some of you have some really interesting things for breakfast. It does all help out with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This has been quite a fascinating year, and it has only just begun. There's a lot of speculating going around as to where Bitcoin's price is going to be by the end of this year. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says, will Bitcoin cross 100,000 US dollars by August of 2021? And I'll show you exactly who said that. And there's a person looking at the stars, so you know it's serious then. There's a lot of people. We've discussed Plan B before and his stock to flow ratio and where he thinks Bitcoin is going to go. And thus far, he has been correct. So if Plan B ends up, if everything that Plan B has thought of or come together with, and his ratio actually ends up coming true, people will in the future be looking to him as the actual price oracle for where Bitcoin's price is going to go. There are a lot of companies trying to ascertain, decide, see where they think that Bitcoin's price is going to go. And one of the most popular ones right now is from Pantera Capital, who has basically laid out this chart for a projected price, and they've been roughly on point. They haven't been incorrect, except for the end of the year. They said 32,000, but we ended up hitting that like a day or two later. So what have you. And their price projection for at this point is that by August, Bitcoin should be 115,000 US dollars. Which is roughly on par with everything else that we've been seeing from other companies and corporations, and mainly from Plan B. It's going to be a very fascinating time. We went about a good week, I want to say 8 or 9 days, without any real price news, if you will, but it has come back with a vengeance today. The main news stories floating around are the prices of the coins, exactly where they are, where they're reaching towards, and what they're going to be doing over the next couple of days. This one says, Bitcoin trend analysis, modest pullback will eventually fuel bull rally to 45,000. I guess it's just kind of logical that Bitcoin's going to go up, and at some point the pullback of us going down is going to move us back up. There was an article yesterday that Bloomberg posted on Twitter, and it was something along the same exact lines as the title of this article. It was like, Bitcoin to go down before it goes back up. And whoever wrote that comment, I don't know who you are, but you're my hero. Somebody wrote, okay, so the price is going to go down before it goes back up? So you're saying that the price is either going to go down or up? Well, I mean, that's completely shocking to me, because I just didn't assume that was an option. I just assumed Bitcoin would go completely sideways. So I try not to be cynical, but it's very difficult sometimes. This one says, on-chain metrics suggest Ethereum's price poised to breach all-time high. Ethereum is all over the news this morning. I'm not sure what happened in the last 7.5 hours, but something major has happened to Ethereum, and people are apparently completely losing their minds. 3 reasons why Ethereum has been rising faster than Bitcoin's price in 2021. There are a lot of articles for some reason. I'm not sure if the people writing these articles are brand new to the cryptocurrency space. If I'm brand new to the cryptocurrency space, maybe I just didn't realize it before. But everyone seems pretty shocked that if Bitcoin goes up by 1%, Ethereum goes up by 4%. And everyone's like, whoa, I don't know how it's doing it, but it's certainly doing it. So, I didn't even have to read through the actual article. The reasons why they say Ethereum has been rising is mainly due to DeFi. It's a supply issue, and it's mainly the amount of things that are still being built on top of Ethereum. We officially now have Ethereum 2.0 phase 0, so not the full rollout. But this has caused enough momentum. Still going strong at 15 transactions per second. But the amount of things being built on top of Ethereum, just normal, even just writing things on top of it, issuing bonds and issuing this and so, but the amount of DeFi things on top of it, as DeFi continues to grow and grow and grow, Ethereum is benefiting directly. You have to buy the Ethereum to lock it up into the protocol, and you also have to buy up the Ethereum to get the passive income from it. So it's basically a perfect storm for price movements and for the coin to do well. And as the coin continues to do well in the market, other people are going to take notice and say, hey, that coin is number 2. It's next to Bitcoin, and therefore should I be investing in that? Question mark. That was a weird inflection. Anyway, this one says Ethereum beats Bitcoin in daily transactions. Ethereum's price reaches $1,340. So I assume, here we go. It says the world's second largest cryptocurrency now processes $12 billion in daily transactions compared to Bitcoin's $9 billion. I don't know if they won an award or what. We know that Ethereum does more transactions than Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin has about 4 things built on top of it. Some side chains and some stuff hanging from its leg. Ethereum has like 300 things built on top of it. All these other protocols that are using Ethereum's they're processing hundreds of transactions all the time. Like all these things are, so it's logical that they're doing more money because there are tons of exchanges also built on top of Ethereum. So if the exchanges are exchanging money, then that means see what I'm kind of saying? So it's logical. It's logical that it's going to happen. But I guess the news is that it did it, not so much that it was capable of doing so. Ethereum has beaten Bitcoin in terms of settlement of daily transactions. The network now processes $3 billion more in daily transactions compared to Bitcoin. The price of Ether jumped more than 10% in the past 24 hours to $13.40. This is what I was saying. So I'm not exactly sure if this is brand new news to the crypto space, or maybe the entire world, that people do stuff on top of Ethereum. A lot of the news, and there's still more, I promise you, a lot of the news floating around today was that people do stuff on Ethereum. Ethereum's price rises. That was kind of it. Is that things happen on Ethereum and therefore the price rose. But I was like, things have always been happening on Ethereum. We've had a lot of development and building on top of Ethereum for a while. So maybe they just now all took notice today. According to data published by Masari, a crypto research firm, due to a significant rise in DeFi and stablecoins, the Ethereum network has been consistently settling more daily transactions than Bitcoin. Ethereum's daily transaction volume jumped above $12 billion for the first time. Woo! A lot of flippening news going on. It says flipped. Ethereum now processes 28% more transactions than Bitcoin. So for those of you, you should all know what the flippening is at this point. In 2017, people thought that Ethereum would flip Bitcoin in the actual rankings and become the number 1 coin. Probably never going to happen. But alas, it has flipped in transactions per day, which is quite significant. We had news before that Bitcoin in 1 year did 1 trillion transactions. So if Ethereum, if this momentum continues, and I keep slamming my nose into the microphone. If this momentum continues, and by the end of this year, Ethereum does over 1 trillion transactions per second, that is going to make it get noticed. People will start looking at Ethereum as a very different tool as opposed to just DeFi and stablecoins. It'll be known as like its own little asset class, and then people will figure out that you can stake it, and then it'll be impossible for people to get 32 Ethereum because the price predictions, there we go, for Ethereum at this point are ranging anywhere from $8,000 to $30,000. So good luck trying to get one at $30,000. But yep, this one says my favorites. Ethereum price prediction. Ethereum is going to $1,420. So it's said by an analyst. You want to know why this is weird? Because that's like $40 away. What's up with people writing articles that Bitcoin is going to 40,000 when it's like at $39,996? They're like, I got it. I predicted it. The number to beat is 1,400. This is constantly quoted as Ethereum's previous all-time high. Can we beat it? Can we go past it? How much higher and further are we going to actually go? I assume at some point we're going to do it. I think for me, the real test is probably around a $3,000 to $4,000 Ethereum. I feel like some reason in the news we're going to start hearing a lot of Is the Ethereum market too hot? Are things moving too fast? And yada, yada, the same exact thing that they say about Bitcoin whenever Bitcoin goes past $9,000 that they can't get over themselves for. Also, same thing. Yep. Ethereum surges 50% against Bitcoin in 2 weeks, about to join the all-time high club. I think it's all but inevitable at this point. It just kind of has to happen so we can get over the news. It's always this situation where everyone's like, I don't know, man, that's the previous all-time high. Can we go over it? I don't know. It has to do it. It seems unlikely. And then it doesn't. And everyone's like, woo, now going for the next number. So if we just pass by 1,400, we can, skyrocket a bit further and go into price discovery mode. But yeah, a large portion of the news was and will be about Ethereum. And also, not to be left out, I saw a couple of these as well. For some reason, over the evening, XRP rose by 15%. The news is that some other coins were trying to take over its position. These other coins didn't fare too well over the past 18 hours, and XRP is going up. There's no XRP news, no real information as to why it's been going up, or whatever the other cases might be. It seems like it is trying to regain its previous positions in the cryptocurrency market ranking cap thingy. And yeah, that's all the XRP. Like, there's a lot of news that it surged higher, and it's a smidge and a half away from reclaiming its previous positions, but we'll see what happens. Yes, that's all the price news. I mean, that's not all of it, but you know what I'm saying. That's all the news I thought fit to give, unless you wanted to see 18 more tabs about XRP going up by 15%. I assume some people went like this. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Next up, Stephen Harper, who served as Prime Minister of Canada for 9 years, says there may be a place for Bitcoin and central bank digital currencies as part of a basket of reserve currencies to replace the dollar. In an interview with investment service Cambridge House's Jay Martin at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, Harper said the possibility of the US dollar being replaced could only come from a large currency like the euro or the Chinese yuan. He expressed his doubts either of them would be a viable alternative currency given the long-term uncertainty over the value of the euro and the arbitrary measures the Chinese government would take regarding the value of the yuan. For those of you who don't know, the yuan is constantly devalued and inflated and all these other... I mean, they do what they can to keep it competitive. But if you look back historically at the measures that they've taken to make sure that their currency was competitive, it cannot be a world currency because they'll basically deflate it, inflate it, whatever they want at their whim. And that would not be all fiat currencies at this point are garbage. So it's not like one of them is really better than another. And as far as the euro, for those of you who do not know, and I will tell you this as just a fact, it appears that there are a lot of cracks within the euro system and the eurozone. And a lot of people think that within the next 20 years, there may not be an actual, as we know it now, an EU. And therefore, the euro would completely, because we've had indications before that there might be I didn't even know how to form that into a word, a Spanish exit and a Grexit, as it was called. And there are other countries now who are also like, hey, we kind of want to leave. But anyway, so I went off tangent, but I thought you would know or should know. The yuan and the euro were proposed before as like, hey, maybe we should move over to that system, but looking low flimsy. And this also leads us to the reason why we see so many banks getting into Bitcoin, because they know the flimsiness of other fiat currencies and therefore they're poisoning themselves to... He said it's hard to see what the alternative to the US dollar as the world's major reserve currency, other than gold, Bitcoin, a whole basket of things. I think you'll see the number of things that people use as reserves will expand, but the US dollar will still be the bulk of it. I think the US dollar will be used as a reserve currency for the next 10 to 15 years. I think people will be terrified of trying to leave the US dollar because of the security that it's given them before. And this will lead to a situation where the US dollar is going to continue to be inflated. There's not going to be anything within the next 20 years where anyone in power or anyone in the Fed is going to be like, let's stop printing US dollars altogether. It's what keeps the markets up. It's what keeps the economy up. So there's never going to be a situation where the US dollar or the euro or the yen or the yuan is not printed into oblivion. It's just going to happen. But this will be the catalyst that causes people to actually move into Bitcoin. All it takes is for any country to start adopting, buying, using, holding, mining Bitcoin. That's all it takes. And after that, it begins to tumble out of control. Do you remember the video from a couple days ago where I went over the 8 or 9 countries who are already doing so? We're already in this movement. It's going to take Bitcoin a while to become a world reserve currency, but on the way there, as we keep passing these milestones, $100,000, $150,000, $250,000, more people will take notice. But there are going to be a large amount of countries on the planet who will refuse to even think about using Bitcoin in some sort of way simply because they're used to the idea of being able to print as much as they possibly want. Bitcoin is not a suitable replacement for them because they're used to being able to have one building where they print as much as they want and they tell you when you can and can't do things with your money. So the idea of something that you can use your money whenever you want, 24 hours a day, and there's no central issuer of a finite asset, it means nothing to them. They can't picture a world where this actually makes sense. It's like the discussion years and years ago. People always said, well, there's only so much Bitcoin. What happens when one Satoshi reaches a 1 cent parity? What are you going to do then? And they were like, well, it's a computer program. We can add more decimals so that it continues going further. And they were like, well, how are you going to do that? Like, you can't change Bitcoin. No, like Bitcoin's protocol can be changed as long as the network has enough consensus, enough people around the world saying, yes, this sounds fine. And then you add more decimals and then the Satoshi number ends up continue moving along. So all these things are possible with computers. The point is, we keep getting, I guess he's famous. I mean, sure, why not? These people who are coming forward, even if they mention Bitcoin in a breath, the same breath as gold and the same sentence as a world reserve currency, this person may not explicitly believe that Bitcoin can become one, but think of how major that is, that Bitcoin has been around for 12 years, and this person was talking about a replacement to the US dollar, and the euro, the yuan, gold, and Bitcoin left his lips. Think of that. Anyway, we all know where this is going. You should all know at this point exactly what's going to take over and what's going to be the reserve currency. Anyway, that's the former Canadian money. Somebody's putting money under a bed news. I don't know. Let's move on. Next up, Ethereum's ratio of supply has dropped massively. What? The ratio of supply is a metric used to measure the total available token on crypto exchanges. According to Sentiment, the point of its record low was in November 2018. The crypto analytics site noted that the amount of Ether on those exchanges was dwindling, and it was moving to offline older wallets. Only 22% of the token supply is now on exchanges, whereas the figure stood at 26% just 5 months ago. This, they believe, shows one of the promising signs of the second largest crypto asset. The data suggests that the asset would continue to be moved off of exchanges, as it would either end up in wallets where it would be held or spent for gas for decentralized financial protocols. There is also the possibility of market players transferring the asset to their cold storage wallets for long-term investments, as they might just be using the asset as a means of facilitating the quite large numbers of smart contracts that are running on the network. That was a really weird sentence, whoever wrote that. We had news before and indications that the amount of Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges was dwindling. Estimates were that it's either normal people getting into the market who don't know the cryptocurrency exchanges, so they're like, I got it, now I'm taking it off. People putting it onto storage devices that can be everyday normal people to whatever people. People simply not trusting cryptocurrency exchanges. The thing that Coinbase was talking about before, and other cryptocurrency exchanges having to, you having to give your data, every single bit of data to them as you transfer your coins on and transfer your coins off, which didn't sit too right with a number of people. Now the metrics that we're getting for Ethereum, slightly different, but run down the exact same way, is that people are taking off their Ether from cryptocurrency exchanges, whether it be because they want to hold it themselves, they want to launch some type of a DeFi protocol. You can't have your coins on a cryptocurrency exchange if you plan on locking it up in a DeFi protocol or wrapping up your Ethereum in something else or doing whatever. And also staking. People are not obliged to use cryptocurrency exchanges as staking platforms. You can do it yourself. You can open up your computer. Like that's the magic of it, is that you don't need tons of hardware. You can have your laptop. You can take your however many Ethereum you have and place it on your computer, and then you can start mining yourself. Anyway, yeah, I expect this number to continue dwindling. Like I said, a lot of Ethereum news. I think something is taking place behind the scenes. It seems a little weird that everyone on the same exact day would have registered or understood that all these things are taking place on Ethereum. I assume we had news before that it appeared that Grayscale and I think a couple of other companies might also be buying large quantities of Ethereum. Maybe that's taken place. Maybe a huge amount of it was taking off of a cryptocurrency exchange. Prices are now going up and everyone's like, well, people are doing it because of DeFi, when it might actually be because people are buying large swaths of it. Here's the actual tweet right here from Sentiment with everything we were just discussing. I'm glad that people are realizing that they don't have to rely on cryptocurrency exchanges to hold their money. As always, do your own research, extensive research. If you decide to hold your coins on a cold hardware storage wallet, figure out how it works, watch a couple of YouTube videos, see if you're comfortable with it, and then make your move from there, because it's not a necessity. Once again, if you are legally able to do so, go for it. I'm expecting big things from Ethereum, and also price-wise. More so price-wise because, logic. Anyway, that's the Ethereum news? I guess so. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, in, I guess, a continuation of other news that we had before, we had indications that Shapeshift, one of the most popular cryptocurrency exchanges on the planet, had announced that they were going to do away with, where is it? Somewhere around, okay, it's not even there. That's weird. That they were going to do away with their, yes it is, right here, with their KYC, Know Your Customer regulations on their platform. And now it appears that they're going to try and move to a more decentralized approach to allow people to use their platform without actually having to rely on one centralized location, therefore decentralization. It appears that they're now going to try and do it multi-chain as well, which is also very fascinating. They talk about the DEXs, and I think, where are the actual words? They're going to apparently try and put this across protocols like Uniswap, SushiSwap, Bancor, 0x, and Kyber, among others. I think they're going for a Tether-esque approach. Before, where Tether was basically, I think they were only on, I think they might have just been their own chain, if I'm not mistaken. And now they're on top of like 7 or 8 different coins. It decentralizes your network a lot more, makes things a lot more secure. So I hope this works, because we have a lot of decentralized exchanges that are pretty okay. But I think we need like really robust ones, like really huge, really secure, that will get people to start moving towards them, because these in the future will be better to use than actual cryptocurrency exchanges. And it's just a matter of time before we get that shift. But I'm very impatient, and I kind of just want the shift right now. I want people to be using DEXs more so that they can have more control over their own monies. So yeah, like I said, continuation of the news that we had before, because the news that we had before was that Shapeshift was going to do away with their KYC, and then that they were going to try and make it more decentralized, and now apparently it's going to be cross-chain decentralization. So I don't know. All right, let's move on. Next up, Russia is now holding more gold than US dollars in its reserves for the first time ever, according to the latest report by Russia's central bank. Russian President Vladimir Putin has made de-dollarization his country's key policy to reduce the Russian economy's exposure to the US dollar amid heavy sanctions. This is evident. We had news before and have had news like this since 2018, even way before that. But since 2018 in the cryptocurrency space, that it appeared that many countries who were under sanctions were moving towards Bitcoin. It would only make sense that they would also try to step away from the US dollar, as they are obligated to use the US dollar for everything. It does not make a lot of sense, especially when it's not within your borders, that you would have to use another country's money to be able to finalize transactions. So the fact that this is now official news is a little insane. I wonder how this is going to go. What this means for the future. The US dollar is not looking too good across the board. And I think, once again, banks know it. But I wonder if we're going to get more news like this, that there are other countries who are lessening their supply of US dollars, even in favor of gold. That means that's a clear indication we're tired of using what you've told us to use. And we're going to kind of make our own internal economy, like we also heard before with Bitcoin. So not really much more to read here, as you know, it says it pretty clear. Gold exceeds US dollars in Russia's reserves. They are not the only country doing this. And it's going to be a fascinating next 15 years. As I've said many times before, get ready for the roller coaster ride, because the end of a reserve currency is right in front of our eyes. Next up, Mizuho Securities analyst Don Dolev has forecast that PayPal will earn up to $2 billion in revenue from its Bitcoin business by 2023. I think it's going to be way beyond that. This year, he expects that the payment giant overall revenue will climb by 20%. Dolev says there has been a dramatic increase in engagement due to crypto, with 50% of PayPal crypto users opening the app daily. Both our survey and management commentary unveil a dramatic increase in engagement due to crypto. This was said by Dolev in a note to clients this week. The news isn't so much that PayPal is making money from it or will continue to make money from Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on their platform, because the news was last year that they planned on adding extra coins to their platform. I really hope that they don't become a Coinbase where they're just simply adding every single coin. I would love a finite amount of really good coins on their platform. We'll see where the world goes. The news is that they're going to be making a lot of money. What happens is when, and I said this 2 years ago, when we started getting the first companies into the cryptocurrency space, at the end of the year, even at the end of a quarter, they announce, we made $180 million in 3 months. Other companies, I was going to try and touch my ear, but I can't because of the headphones. Their ears began to perk up and they go, we could have made $180 million. What are they doing that we didn't do? And when they find out that all PayPal did was list Bitcoin on their platform that said buy or sell, and this is how they made $2 billion, other people began to jump into the industry as well and go, well, we're also going to list the Bitcoin. This is why we had news yesterday that all the banks are applying for these charters and all these other things in the OCC to be able to actually have a cryptocurrency exchanges on the banking website, because they also want to make some of that money. If people are going to be buying and selling and trading cryptocurrencies on other platforms, people will say, why not our platform? And then eventually they all end up adding it in rapid succession, trying to be part of the game. Trading volumes end up going up, Bitcoin's price ends up going up, and then it becomes solidified that, hey, this is a major asset class. There's tons of interest in it. This is why we keep seeing all these new banks and platforms trying to say, hey, we've been getting a lot of calls. Why don't you guys have it? So now we're adding it to our platform. So like I said, the news isn't that they made money. The news is that they made money. I know it sounds confusing, but it's more so the interest that other people are now going to have. $2 billion from simply adding something onto your platform. Like, imagine if someone was like, hey, you can buy donuts on our website, and they made $2 billion. Of course, it's not the same thing. I know donuts aren't a currency and they're more delicious, but you understand. Anyway, so yes, We're going to, when we see Bitcoin on every single website as a payment option, which is basically already there, and also when you go to your bank account, your website or whatever, and you're able to trade in cryptocurrencies, that's going to be a crazy time. And I don't think we're that far off. I don't think it's happening this year. I give it like a good 5 to 10 years. The first 5 years is going to be on every single banking website. It's going to be on the Fidelities. It's going to be on the mutual fund websites. And then the last stragglers will also add it as well. But it's a coming. And to finish things off, it says Polkadot has flipped XRP to become the 4th ranked crypto after price spikes 100% in less than a week. There's a bit of a struggle going on within the top 10 right now. Everyone wants to be in the top 10. We had information before, and I don't know if this plays into it, but I think the top 10 mentally just has a thing for people. We had indications before, I think it was the people from the NASDAQ, who said that they planned on creating their own cryptocurrency exchange. This was like 2018 or something like that. And people were asking them which coins were you going to add, because the idea was that they would only add Bitcoin and Ethereum. People were like, are you going to add XRP? And they were like, yeah, anything that is actually, stable and well known within the top 10, why would we not add it to our platform? So Polkadot skyrocketing into the top 10 is probably, it's not making people worried. It's like other projects also want to be exactly where they are, on the off chance that when other banks do add these platforms to their platforms, that your coin will be added as well. Nobody wants to be in coin number 11 or 12 or 13 when you were number 7 and then you don't get added to these major platforms. Anyway, yeah. Polkadot's price has kind of not slid down, but it's not as amazing as it used to be. And we just went over the fact that XRP also popped up as well. I think it's just, in general, I think XRP is trying to claw its way back to where it previously was. I don't know why I always do this. You would think I knew better. I do videos every single day. Whoa, what is this? Hold on. What in the world? Okay, sorry. Sorry. My phone updated and it moved everything I had to another folder? I don't even know what to call this. Not fun. That was not nice. I thought I just lost everything. Anyway, moving on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Crypto Stahl, George Montoya, Wiselink, Not TMI, Conan, Don't Skip a Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman, High XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Marshoya, Nostromo, John Strauss, and the Anna Marita, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Grace, Sigmore, Harmony, Massive Inches, Thailand, Jared Snyder, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Rich Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangella, Anthony, Charles, Jim Gunner, Jimmy Fox, Minty Coins, Millis, Chester, Day, and Cosmic Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Buddy, Boardface, Intel, His Master Staff, Arithmetic 17, Make Me a Cake, Tigra, Macho, Nisa, on Crypto, Lana, Krell, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a new Patreon member. Thank you to every single person who left a thumbs up, who left a comment, thank you to everyone for your support in general through this wacky time that we are in. At the momento, Bitcoin is currently up by 1.94%. It is at $37,298 US. Here's that pop-up right here. Ethereum is at $1,378 US. Polkadot is down by 2%. XRP is up by 8%. Not really sure what caused the price up, but it seems that the movement upward in Bitcoin caused everything else to try and follow that same exact momentum. Litecoin is up by 13.5%. No Litecoin news. It could be the Mimble-Wimble thing. It's supposed to be, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Litecoin with private transactions? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. The Mimble-Wimble thing is I believe expected to happen within Q1 of this year. Anything else crazy? Lumens is up by 3%, still in the top 10. Neo's up by 10%. I'm hungry. Maker's up by 4%. VeChain Thor is up by 8%. Dash is up by roughly 8%. IOTA's up by 6%. Okay, that's not too bad. We don't get any IOTA news, but IOTA's still chugging along. Bless them. Very mixed market day. Let's be honest. I'm really only hoping that the strongest coins, continue being strong and moving up in price, because I think the other coins are garbage, but 'tis what it is. Yeah, I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See